Morning, everyone. Today is the 27th of February, 2024. It's in the morning. I have a day off from work today and tomorrow. The weather is going to be very nice today. It's going to be in the low 60s. It's warming up quickly, even though it's only about 9 o'clock in the morning now. So I'm going to continue with my gas tank. I did come out several times last night and rotated it. So it's been soaking all night in various positions. So I'm going to rotate it some more, do some more human rotisserie stuff on it, keep it moving. And then I'm going to drain it into my bucket here with the t-shirt as a strainer and take a look inside. I've also got my garden hose set up here so I can spray it out, rinse it out real good, and probably do a second round. Also, I bought something that I thought I was going to wait on, but I'm pretty impatient sometimes. I don't like noises coming from engines, like from lifters. So I bought a couple of new lifters on Rock Auto, and I bought the tool, which I didn't know existed until like a month ago when I saw someone else doing a YouTube video on a 462 engine, and they had one of these tools where they were able to remove the old lifters and put the new ones in without a whole lot of work, actually, besides taking the valve cover off and taking the valve train off on top. So, but that'll be, somewhere down the road a little bit. It's not a top priority, but since I got the parts, thought I would show you. So I'm pretty excited, getting closer and closer. Still don't have my carburetor back. I'm going to call my mechanic today to get an update on that. And that's it. So I'm going to get started here, working on my tank some more. Just demonstrating what I'm doing here. Just doing some more rotating, getting the chain to slide back and forth in here, just back and forth, back and forth. I'm glad I redid the plugs on this because they are holding. There's no more fluid leaking out. I've just been continually rotating back and forth, back and forth. Glad this tank isn't any bigger than it already is. Hard to believe this thing holds 25 gallons. All right, so just a quick demonstration of what I'm doing this morning. Okay, I've just pulled off one of the taped on plugs, the one right here. So now I'm going to drain it out into here and see what this looks like. It should come out pretty dirty if this stuff's been doing its job. And hopefully I'll be able to save it all and reuse it for another round. Whoa! Came out a little faster than I expected, so I lost some more, but it's brown, really dirty, and that's the important thing. Ah, didn't expect it to pour out quite that fast. I wish I had. Looks like this t-shirt's not going to be a good drainer. All right, so anyway, I'll continue to work on getting that drained out and see what it looks like inside the tank now. As you can probably surmise, the reason it stopped draining pretty quickly is because of all the rust and crap that was coming out of the tank. So that's the rag on the ground over here that I was using before. Finally got it all drained through there. And I'm sure this one will plug up pretty quickly too. So we'll keep going here. Hopefully I won't lose as much. There's not going to be a whole lot of liquid left after all this, just because I've lost so much from sloppiness or whatever. But that stuff is really coming out dirty and rusty, which is perfect. That's what it's supposed to be. And I'm sure this is going to plug up quickly too. There's so much crap in there. Yep. Anyway, I'll continue working on that. All right, I've finished draining out the tank now, and the chain, fortunately, just fell right out. Didn't have any trouble getting it out. So what I'm going to do now is take my garden hose and just spray them around on the inside with some water and rinse this chain off too. I'm going to do at least one more round of cleaning with this stuff, assuming I'm going to need to. But that seems to have worked pretty well. There was a lot of nasty stuff that came out of that tank, and it quickly clogs up every old t-shirt that I used to filter it out. So I'm just trying to get the rest of that through there. Anyway, let's see what we get when I rinse this tank out here. Wish I had hot water like at the car wash, but this should be all right. It's not as high pressure either, but again, it should be all right. All right, so now let's see what that looks like coming out. I'll just keep rinsing until it comes out clean. Oh yeah, lots of brown crap coming out of there. Probably not good for the lawn, but it'll recover. I guess I'm gonna have to be, when I think I'm done, I'm really gonna have to take it back to the car wash anyway, because I want to make sure I get any residue out of there from that cleaner that might be left before I go to the next step. All right, so I'm gonna do that a couple more times, see if I can get a peek inside, and then do another round of cleaning with what I have left for my cleaning solution. Okay, as you can see, I've changed clothes. It's warming up very nicely today, so I'm enjoying that. I've already gone through a second round of cleaning with the solution inside the tank and the chain. I've now drained it, and I still got the chain in there. I got to get that out, but I'm going to walk it over to the car wash across the street and give it a good high pressure hot water rinse. I'm not going to use any more soap on it, and then I'll bring it back and we'll see what it looks like inside. Back from the car wash. Spent quite a bit of time over there actually. I was taking my time, rinsing, draining. I probably did that 10 times before I was satisfied that clean water was coming out. So my next step is to dry it out the best way I can. So I'll start with my shop vac and blow as much air through it as I can, try to get as much water out. I'll use my pancake compressor to blow some high pressure air in there too and try to get it dry before I try to peek inside and see what the walls look like. All right, I've taken my initial look at the inside, and it's promising. It looks a whole lot better than it did before. It's not perfect by any means. I can still see a few bumps here and there, small ones, that didn't come completely clean. And without being able to get in there with a wire brush, I guess that's what the rust. The next step, I guess, will maybe get some more of that off. I'm not really sure, but it looks so much better than it did. So much better. I think what I'm going to try and do is get a long rod or something with a rag or something attached to the end of it, see if I can wipe up a little bit, at least what I can reach. But it looks a whole lot better. I had to run and do errands for a couple of hours, so the tank has had a chance to finish drying, and it's pretty much dry now. So I'm going to stick the camera up to the holes and see if you can see inside a little bit. But from what I can see, things are much, much better. Let's see, can you even, oh, here we go. Yeah, I think you can see a little bit in there. It looks so much better. I'm really impressed. It's not perfect. You can still see little, nodules of corrosion there sticking up just a little bit. But the next chemical treatment might take care of some of that, and then the sealer will certainly immobilize it or keep it from getting any worse. So I'm very pleased. I'm impressed that this stuff does seem to be doing its job. Now this is probably a better picture here. You can see how it looks. It's much, much better than it was. So my next challenge is I got to figure out how I'm going to protect the opening for this vent on the inside. I don't even know if it protrudes or what. I haven't been able to get a good look at that. I was hoping to get this mirror in there, but it's too big for the hole. Wait a minute. Yeah, even that hole, I can't force it in there. So see if I have another mirror that I can sneak in there and get a look at the inside. I know that according to the instructions, if I can get some WD-40 on whatever's protruding, that'll keep the sealer from adhering to it. But I don't know what it looks like, so I gotta figure that out. It's a very small tube, so I don't know if I can just push a little wire through there to kind of keep it open or what. But I'm gonna have to figure that out. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then my intention before it starts raining this evening, it's already gotten cloudy, but it's still warm. My intention or my goal for today is to go ahead and pour in that the next step, the second bottle of chemicals in here to take care of what's left of the rust, which isn't much, and etching the metal in preparation for the sealer. And I think I've got a solution since I can't count on enough warm days in a row, especially at night, for that sealer to cure properly. So I'm just going to put a portable heater or two in my shed and just let it run. I'll just have to pay some electrical bills to cover that. I can't use any kind of fuel like gas or propane or whatever. I'll just use one or two electric heaters, and uh, hopefully my electric cord isn't too long to cause a problem there. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I might do a test run tonight to make sure it actually works and stays warm enough in there. But right now, I'm going to see if I can find another mirror to get inside here and see what the other side of that tube looks like. All right, I found another mirror that I had to just fit through the slots here, so I was able to get inside there and look, and I did find the other end of it right here. It's just a very small, probably not even maybe a 16th, maybe 2/16 with a 1/4 inch, maybe sticking out. It doesn't stick out far, and I'm absolutely certain that if I didn't take steps to protect that end, that opening, the sealer is just going to close it right up. So I'm going to have to look for a small but stiff, strong enough wire to fit through there, but still flex around this curve and make sure it's sticking through, so that I can keep that hole open. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think I can figure it out. And while I was looking for that mirror, I found a very nice drill bit extension. Wish I'd seen this before. This is a very nice one. This is solidly made. It's made by Irwin. So much better than that cheap stuff I bought on Amazon. So anyway, that was just an aside. So like I said, I think I'm going to have to seal the holes back up or get ready to seal them up, and then pour in my next chemical and rotate it around and let that set and do its thing. All right, I am now ready for step 2 of this process. The tank is dry. I've reattached my plug right here. Got the other plug ready to go. I read the cautions on this stuff. Pretty caustic. It's got some serious chemicals in it to warn you. Wear eye protection, wear gloves, PPE, all that stuff. So I've got my chemical gloves, got my eye protection on. I won't splash it, so I keep it off my feet. So I'm just going to pour the entire contents with no dilution into the tank, and then I will seal it up as quickly as I can with this and the tape. And then I've got to sit here at my table or stay in the area for a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour, continually rotating, or at least every 5 minutes I'm supposed to rotate it, keep all the internal surfaces wet with this stuff. It's supposed to remove any remaining rust, and then it etches the metal in preparation for the sealer. So that's my next step. That's what I'm getting ready to do. So shake well, so I'm going to shake it for a while. So that's done. Put my gloves on here. Pour it in there. Seal up the hole. And start agitating or rotating, whatever you want to call it. And here we go. And then when this is all done, I'm supposed to drain it and rinse it out thoroughly with water, several rinses. And then it's got to dry thoroughly before you can apply the seal. So I'll just pour that back in that bottle when the time comes. So that's in there. And that's for this part. Stick this back on. This works a whole lot better when you shape these out of cork. shove it in there a pretty good distance. Shake this up. It's been a lot of work, but it looks like it's going to work like it's supposed to, which means I get to keep my original 25-gallon tank and save the expense of probably $500 for a replacement tank that's 1 gallon smaller. It doesn't even have the vent tube on top, so I think this is a much better solution. Well, I certainly couldn't afford to do the renew it process. That was going to cost at least $1,000, and I'm still shocked when I think about that figure. So hopefully this works out just fine. Last time I did something like this was in what year was it? It was it was like 25 years ago when I had my 67 convertible Lincoln and I had the gas tank out of it. It wasn't in nearly as bad a shape as this one was, so all I did with that one was basically just rinse it out with fresh gas and slap it back in the car. Couldn't do that with this one. That wasn't an option. Alright, just in case there's any leakage here when I start rotating this, I'm going to keep my gloves on until I'm sure there's no leaking going on, then I might take them back off. But I should have gotten the other gloves. Oh well, I didn't do that. Right now, this is going to be it. Anyway, so for a while here, I'm just going to rotate this thing over and over. Keep the liquid going in there on the surface. How long I have to do this, so I'm going to stop the recording now because I'm just going to be sitting here rotating it. So I'll see you when this is done. That last little clip I tried to record, I just realized my voice wasn't on it. So anyway, I got the plugs out of the tank and drained the solution back into the bottle it came out of. That was about an hour of rotating, and it did its job. Unfortunately, one of the corks went inside the tank, so I got to dig that back out. I also need to dry the tank out. And it's starting to threaten rain, so I'm fighting against that right now, so moving along. All right, I am now relegated to working in my shed. So much for the weather forecast. It wasn't supposed to start raining until tonight, and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm not too happy about that. But fortunately, I had pretty much just finished with that second step inside the tank. I was able to get it drained. I got my plug out that I had lost inside the tank, so now I have both the plugs back. And I rinsed it out several times in clean water as instructed. So now what I'm going to do is get my shop back and blow as much air through it as I can, try to get it dried out, dry out the outside. I can't apply the sealer until it's completely dry. And let's see, I've got a thermometer out here now. What's the temperature at right now? Right now it's about 60 degrees, which is warm enough. I don't know if this little heater will be able to keep the space around here warm enough. I think it will, but that's what I'm testing right now. I'm hoping that my connections don't get too warm here, because they are a little warm right now. That was one of the things I was checking. So I'm working on that. So I'm gonna blow some air through that tank right now, get it ready for the third step. All right, so far things are going pretty well in my shed here. Been using my shop vac here, blowing air into it, using a little towel here to kind of try and seal it a bit. Gotten most of the water out of the tank now, most of it, but it still needs to dry some more. I don't know if I'll actually be able to apply the sealer in here or not. It's kind of a tight space. So I may wait until I can go back outside, or I don't know, that may delay me a while. But I do have my heater running, and it does seem to be maintaining a temperature in here. It's got to be, so it started at 60. Where are we at now? Yeah, it's still holding at 60. I don't know if it'll be able to keep up if when the weather gets colder outside. We'll have to see. I need to know that it's going to keep the temperature warm enough to cure the sealer and when I do put it in the tank. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for the natural outdoor temperature to warm up. So I'm going to continue blowing air in here, and I'm going to bring the phone up here and give you a shot of the inside of the tank. I'm really impressed with how it looks. I'm actually very happy. This is coming out a lot better than I thought it would at first. Um, so let me grab the camera here, and I'll show you the inside of the tank as best I can anyway. All right, let's see here. Find the flashlight. Where did the flashlight go? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'll see if I can go through the bottom hole here. Get some light in there. There it is. Okay. I think you can see that. That's a good indicator right there of what the inside of the tank looks like overall. I think there's still some spots down here at this end where the baffles are that maybe didn't get quite as nice as that, but this is pretty representative now of how the inside looks, and I'm just really impressed. I had my doubts when I first started using this kit, but now I'm more of a believer. So let me see if I can get a different angle in here for you. Let's see. And that's not really, it's not the best of angles to try and see inside, but anyway, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. So I just have to make sure I completely dry out this tank completely before I can pour the sealer in it and rotate that around and get that part done. So almost there. It's coming along quicker than I thought it would. So I'm working on figuring out something to put inside this tiny little vent tube. Found a little tiny pipe cleaner, this tool set I got for doing the carburetor actually. I got one really small one to go in all the way, and I used my mirror to verify it was poking out the other side, and it is, but it's so skinny compared to the size of the tube that I need to keep open. But I have to use the skinnier ones because of these bends that are here. It's stiffer ones, thicker ones just won't bend enough to get in there. I'm going to keep trying. Ideally, if I can get one of these that has an actual pipe cleaner, material on the end of it in there, that'd be ideal. So I'm going to try with one of those. If that doesn't work, I'll just have to live with this skinny one. I used a pair of needle nose pliers to kind of grab it little at a time and force it in there. All right, I was able to get one that had a little material on the end of it. It's in there and it is protruding on the other side inside. So that's gonna, I think, be my best and only opportunity to keep that tube open once I put the sealer inside of it. So once I've determined that the tank is completely dry, and I think it's close right now, I'll be ready to do that sealer. I don't know if I'm going to attempt it right now or not, but I'm sure tempted to. All right, I'm gonna have to wrap up today now. It was a good day. The tank is ready to be sealed. It's clean, it's dry, it's etched with the rust splash stuff and everything, and it's I found a solution with my pipe cleaner thing there that's sticking in the vent hole on top. I can't show it to you now, but I really wanted to seal it tonight. I really did, but after reading the directions, they caution you to avoid doing it during the rain or during humid conditions, and it's raining outside. And I don't think this heater is going to be able to keep up with it to keep it warm enough in here anyway consistently. I mean, it's still pretty warm outside, and this thing it's really not doing much to keep it warm enough. I think to make the cure process work because it's got to be 55 degrees or better, and I'm just worried that I don't know. If it weren't for the humidity and the rain outside, I would be sealing this thing right now, and then the curing process could start. But I think I'm going to have to force myself to be patient and just wait. I can't really wait more than 10 days, though, because you're supposed to cure it by then. So the next opportunity I have where it's dry and warm enough in the next 10 days, I will go ahead and pour the sealer in it and get that process started and just hope for the best. So it was a good day. I mean, I'm actually very pleased with how this tank has turned out. It turned out quite well. It actually works as advertised. It's a lot of work, takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, but as long as you follow the instructions, it does work. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm just going to be forced to wait a little bit longer before I can actually put the sealer in it, and that's strictly because of the weather. It is still wintertime, and it's even though it was a warmer day today, it wasn't without rain, and that kind of ruined it for me. So anyway, I'm still overall I'm quite pleased. So, and I don't remember if I gave an update earlier. I did talk to my mechanic this morning. He did get the dye in, and he should have that carburetor done. Looks like it's not going to happen today, but maybe tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. Have a good evening.